Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the laser-assisted electrical rifle mod, which is being released by user The Rizzler, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the LAER, which some of you may remember from Fallout New Vegas in the Old World Blues add-on. And this gun is just amazing. I love this thing so much. It was one of my favorite energy weapons back in New Vegas, and so I am very happy to see it returning here to the Commonwealth. So let's take a look at what we do get out of the LAER, and in its most standard version here, it will do, as you can see, 21 damage with the standard energy cells, a firing rate of 50, range of 203, accuracy of 73, and a weight of 5.4. Now that damage number may not seem too impressive, but you can upgrade this thing pretty substantially, though what's most important is of course its effect on robots and power armor users. Even with the standard coils here, you will do 30% extra damage to either of those things. So if you are fighting the Brotherhood of Steel, well, frankly, this is gonna be the gun you want to use. And I mean, come on, besides that, it's just a gorgeous looking gun. I love the look of this thing. It has a beautiful texturing, beautiful modeling, and is just all in all a pretty awesome piece. And of course can be pretty heavily modified to make a worn looking electrical sniper rifle, which does a whole lot of damage to power armor and robots. Or, you know, create something that'll clear a room with an tactical overcharged automatic LAER with an improved Tesla arc barrel. This thing fires electricity in basically every direction and is just great. And automatic, so, you know, fun. And as for how you do get your hands on one of these guns, it actually is going to be kind of a rarity. Now, you will find them on railroad agents, synths, and any vendors who also do typically sell Gauss rifles, but it is going to be a rarity to see them. I, of course, got my 3 by, well, as usual with these videos, cheating, using the glorious console commands. But yes, they are going to be rare guns, and there are also legendary modifications out there for them, which is pretty sweet. Now, besides the gun itself, we also do get a little bonus for this. If you do go into your workshop mode, the LAER also comes with a defensive turret. So if we go into the turret section and head towards the end of the list, as you can see here, we do have a LAER turret, which will require 2 electricity and produce 12 defense. And this thing is just wonderful. It has the sort of standard damage modification, so it is quite useful if you find yourself being attacked by robots or the Brotherhood. And that is awesome. Now, besides this, which does come standard, there is also a patch for if you have the Automatron DLC that will allow you to build LAERs onto your robots, so it can be one of the weapon replacers for that, which is pretty cool. It's not standard, which is why I don't have it on this particular save file, but it is a patch you can choose. So let's go take a look at our various modifications here for the gun, and we have quite the selection now up in the coils category, which is, you know, pretty analogous to your receivers. We have our standard coil doing that 30% damage to robots and power armor. We then have things like the adjusted feeder, tuned resistors, amplified emitter, modulated feeder, regulated aperture, high-grade coils, bridged circuits, enhanced electro laser, and of course the overcharged electro laser. And these things will add both increased damage, such as of course the high grade adding 60% more damage to robots and power armor users, but also adding more just standard damage, or doing things like accuracy, ammo capacity, adding energy damage, and just all sorts of, or not energy damage rather, but adding more shock damage, as you can see from the tuned resistor. There we go. and just various things like that, so adjusting the different damage numbers you do get. Now, in the barrel category, we have a fun little selection here, starting with the standard, going to a repeater for rapid fire, to a heavy cable barrel, arc diverging barrel, which is fun, splitting the beams, basically making it a shotgun, the Tesla arc barrel doing, you know, what the Tesla arc does. Lots of electricity. Oh, beautiful. The improved standard barrel, improved repeating pulse, the improved heavy cable, the improved arc diverging, and of course the improved Tesla arc barrel. All just adding different effects to your gun, which is pretty great. Now then, in stocks, we only have a handful of things here. We have the standard pistol grip stock, if you do want to go that route, an SMG grip, and then, of course, a wooden stock to give it, you know, a bit more classic of a feel, I guess. But there we are. We then have in the sights category either no sights, brass sights, which technically are the standard, but then it calls this sighted LAER, which so I went with the nose sights, so we just have that name on there. We also do have glowing sights, the lens array, which I have to say is probably one of the most fun scopes I've seen on a mod in a while, because it has a very steampunk feel to it, which is just glorious. We then have a 2x and 4x tech scope, an energy scope, and a night vision energy scope, which really does bump up that accuracy there, which is pretty nice. We then have a bayonet category here, which does add a stun bayonet, which is pretty cool. So if you bash someone, you got a 40% chance of stunning them. And who doesn't enjoy that? Now then we have the body section, where we have the standard body, which enables semi-automatic fire, a coil body, which will give you automatic fire, but lower down the damage, and of course, range, more recoil, but more ammo capacity. And then the shielded body, which is a slower semi-auto fire with higher damage and a cost of reduced ammo capacity, but by far the best for any high damage version of the LAER you do want to make. And then finally we have the skins category, which really only has two skins: the factory skin or the well-worn skin. Now, of course, we do also have a number of other ones if you get their blueprint for it, which you'll just have to go out there and find in the world, but they are pretty awesome looking. The Haru skin, the Institute skin, the Pi Savvy, the Railroad, the Vicurious, the Wanamingo, and of course down to the well-worn. So yeah, just, you know, you gotta have that, which is a thing. And that is it for all the various modifications. So let's of course take a look at this thing in action, starting with the standard laser-assisted electrical rifle. Now, as you can see, not exactly the most accurate of weapons, but it does have a pretty fast firing rate to it. Pretty much as quick as I can click my mouse, it will fire. And oh boy, I love that reload animation. Just look at it. Kicks out the energy cell and spins it right back in. That is just so very smooth and beautiful. But all in all, a fun and useful gun. So there we are with that. Let's switch it up to this Comfort Grip Overcharge LAER, which does the most damage I've been able to get out of the gun at 72, of course having a nice big scope. Now, of course, this one being much more accurate, being more of a sniper weapon, but overall, still a good gun. And of course, perfect for sniping any power-armored enemies. And finally, the tactical overcharged automatic LAER I made with that automatic Tesla arc thing. And there is that beautiful steampunky scope. I really do like that thing. And fire. And there we go, 1 energy cell, well, I'm really 34, and we got up to about there on the recoil, so a bit to control, But overall, as you can see, just hip firing, this thing shoots in every which direction. And also notice the barrel spinning. I really like that little additional touch on that animation there. It just adds an interesting extra little bit to it that just feels nice. And then, of course, that glorious scope there. I really do enjoy it. Which means we're now to the time of taking out our frustrations on our poor test subjects over here with our beautiful new guns. So let's, of course, take out Will with our beautiful new sniper rifle. I mean, it only does 72 damage, and he's not a power armor user, but considering he's Wild Mongrel, I'm pretty sure that 72 is all we need. So hold the breath and fire. Yep, that's all we need. There we are. Poor Will. And of course, let's go with this baby for taking down Randy. We'll have to chase him down a bit, but I'm okay with that. I think we'll be fine. I think the range on this thing will be sufficient if we just run in and take him down. Hi, Randy. How are you today? Take it, buddy. There we go. Oh, it only took a couple of shots, but he is down. And that is wonderful. Seriously, though, this thing's great for taking out rooms of people. You just walk in, if there's a couple, just start spraying. It's glorious. But that is the LAER, or a laser-assisted electrical rifle. This thing is simply glorious. I loved it back in Old World Blues, and it is pretty awesome to have it here in the Commonwealth now. It is just a fun gun, and if you find yourself fighting the Brotherhood a lot, as I tend to, because, you know, in my main save file I did destroy them, then you'll really want one of these guns by your side. But that is going to be it for this episode. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, which again, I would recommend, you can take a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that is gonna be it, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next episode when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!